Welcome back to more Tsukihime. So last time was the very disturbing succubus with Ark as the subject. Now, of course, it is her route, so had to do it to him, as they say. I didn't really have to, but I did. So I remember when I was so sus about Sio when that happened in the first playthrough. I was like, oh my god, why? Why Nasu? Okay, anyway. Wait, who's talking? Whoosh. I get up forcefully from bed. Koaku? Ha, ha, ha. My breathing is out of control and my mind is still numbed with the feel of arguing. No, hold on, Shiki. Because I remember last time, obviously, Hisui woke him up. But, hold up. Try to be calm. It can't hurt. First, this is my room. Check. That's good. Second, I'm on my bed. Check. Seems that way. And it's now morning and I was having sex with Arcuite until now. Check. That's good. Wait, it's not good. Never, not even slightly, not one bit. I mean, I don't know. The sound of my panting fills the air. I manage to catch my breath. My hands gripping the sheets are drenched in sweat. There is a lingering warmth as if I really was sleeping with Arcuite until just now. But it definitely was a dream. I can't tell if that's something I should be happy or disappointed about. Why did I see such a dream? Does that mean I'm so interested in her that I see her in my dreams? Does that mean I want her so bad I do those things with her in my... And I like how they go this way and you're like, huh, I wonder what it means. It's just a fucking succubus. As I remember, the sensation of her skin forces itself into my brain. I feel my arms to make sure this is real. Yeah, it's real. Her skin was so fundamentally different from a guy's skin, so soft, so warm. Yeah, so hot I wanted to go wild. Just thinking about it makes my breath go wild. Well, whatever happened, it's true that it felt exceedingly good. I should feel a bit guilty dreaming about doing that to Arcuite, but I recall the dream and just sit there thinking about it. Shiki-sama. Whoa. I flail around off my bed as if trying to escape. No, in fact, I was trying to escape, but it just ended up with me landing on the floor with the sheets. Hisui, how long have you been there? Since before you awoke, Shiki-sama. She speaks with her usual lack of expression. Still lying on the floor tangled in the sheets and unable to stand, I look up at Hisui's face. Before I woke up, then that means Hisui saw my face when I was having that dream? My face turns deep red. Hisui just stands there expressionless as usual and makes no attempt to speak. Did I look strange? I do not wish to describe it. I knew it. I must have looked really weird. But if you insist, Shiki-sama, I can describe as accurately as I can. No, you don't have to do that. My face still flushed, I speak in a fading voice. Hisui-san? I give a cough to clear the silence. Adding san to her name is a clear sign of my vulnerability. What is it, Shiki-sama? I'm going to change, so would you mind waiting outside? Or rather, I'm so embarrassed I just want her to leave. But Hisui doesn't obey today of all days. Once I can confirm you are awake, I will leave the room, Shiki-sama. Huh? Is she joking? Why does she think I'm covering myself up in these sheets? It's to hide something that's still standing. I'm fine, so please leave. I can get up and I won't go back to sleep. I'll change and go to the sitting room. What was I about to say? The sitting room as soon as you leave. Shiki-sama, are you sure? Are you hurt and unable to stand? Hisui approaches me out of worry. No, that's not it. I'm standing. I mean, I can stand, so don't worry about it. Damn it, Shiki. I crawl pulling my sheets like a slug and gain some distance from her. Using the bed as a barrier, I get far enough away. Then please excuse me. I will prepare your breakfast, so please come after you change. She has got to be suspicious, but she bows and leaves the room. I was so surprised. The contents of my dream were surprising enough, but knowing Hisui saw me while I was dreaming is very troubling. It's not Arcuite's fault for doing something like that. Even now she's being bothersome, really. Really what? I can't finish. What did I want to say just now? Not even able to confirm my own feelings, I decided to change and head to the sitting room with the vague feeling in my chest. But basically that's why I had to choose Arc there. I gotta drive home the romance of the route. After calming down sufficiently, I head to the sitting room. As usual, Akiya is sitting on the sofa, elegantly sipping tea. Good morning, Nissan. You are certainly up early this morning. She must be happy I woke up because she greets me with a smile. Yeah, good morning. There were, well, a lot of things going on this morning. As soon as I say that, I suddenly recall the memory of Arcueid's skin. This isn't good. I can tell my face is blushing beyond my control. Nissan? A brief clamor. What's wrong? Your face is red. Do you have a fever? Rushing over to me, she looks up at me from below. But in doing so from this angle, Akiya sighs. You do seem to have a fever. Kohaku, come quickly. Nissan doesn't seem to be well. Akiya calls out to the dining room. Kohaku-san has to be preparing my breakfast in the kitchen. I'm fine. It's just a minor cold, so don't worry. If it is a cold, then I can't let it go by. For you, a trivial illness is a big deal. The strength of your immune system is much lower than most people's. Akiya seems to be fed up and puts her hand on my forehead. The sensation of her cool, delicate hand. This isn't good. This isn't good at all, so I break loose and run out to the lobby. Footsteps echo as I dash off. Chiki-sama, have you finished your breakfast already? No, that's not it, but where's my bag? I have your bag here. Are you already going to school? Nodding, I snatch my bag from Hisui. I'm going. Don't worry about seeing me off. Nissan, you've been acting strange. What are you doing with the fever like that? Geez, I told you it's nothing. Since it's nothing, I'm going to school. I'll have breakfast later, so leave me alone. Leave you alone? Hey, Nissan! The sound of my fleeing footsteps is my only response. Even if it is Akiha, she wouldn't chase me this far. Since we're not kids anymore, she won't stop me from going to school. Whew. I take a deep breath and am finally able to calm down. What am I running away for? Once I calm down, I can think clearly. I didn't do anything wrong, so there was no need for me to run away like that. I don't believe it. I look like a complete idiot. But to go back to the mansion to eat breakfast sounds more dumb. To school then? Letting out a sigh, I go downhill along the residential street. Whoop. I arrive 30 minutes earlier than usual. The figures of students around the school gate are sparse. It seems I'm the only one who's arrived at this odd time. On the school grounds, the athletic clubs are holding their practices. I'm not in any clubs right now, but truthfully, I like to move around a lot. I know that I have some athletic ability, at least enough to be proud of, but I can't join any clubs. My body always has this recurring anemia, so I would just be a bother, and my doctor has told me that I should not exercise frequently. Since middle school, I've been asked more than a few times to join a club, but I always have to say it's not my thing and refuse. Every time I refused, I felt a sense of separation. That might have been a subconscious wall that told me I will never be able to mix in with the people on the other side. Relatable to an extent for me. That's enough. This really isn't my thing. I'll stop thinking such thoughts and hurry on to the classroom. Huh? I thought I was the first one, but it seems like some of my classmates are already here. Yo, you're early, Toto. Morning. This class seems to have a lot of people with spare time. Nah, our practice just got over with. Those that come here this early who aren't... Is this him? Who aren't in clubs are usually only those with daily duties. I see. That does make sense now that he mentions it. Greeting those around me, I take my seat. It's half an hour before homeroom. Yeah, I don't think that was him. It's not a bad idea to just watch my classmates arrive. Classroom starts to get busy around 7:50. Huh? I think I saw Senpai in the hallway. He's down at the first year hallway again. What is she doing? Maybe she came to see me. Haha. Okay. I suppose I will save here. I don't think surprising her is the right move. That could be funny, but she might judo chop us. I don't know. This seems to have hilarity. Sure. Let me entertain myself. Senpai is glancing all around the hallway. I don't know if she's looking for something or someone, but she looks really suspicious. I get this sudden irresistible urge. Senpai's always taking everything at her own pace. I think I can respond sometimes to balance things out. Senpai is seriously searching for something. I sneak up behind her. Luckily, Senpai doesn't sense me at all. Here goes, boo! I grab her from behind, but before I know it, I'm lying on the ground, of course. Oh, Tono-kun. Senpai sounds worried. Yeah, it's me, Senpai. Jeez, don't surprise me like that. I reflexively got away, but are you alright? Eh? I'm fine. I just tripped. I stand up. She was so fast, it's as if he tripped. I think that's what happened before when he ran into the wall. Oh god. I stand up. I guess the strange looks from all the other students in the hallway are to be expected. Ow, man, I think I hit my hip. I guess I shouldn't pull pranks like that. Regret. Exactly. I think I overdid it, but since it was your fault, I will not apologize. Okay, never mind. He was just playing it off, saying he tripped. I know. Sorry, Senpai, I interrupted your search. Well, this mischievous boy will now go back to his classroom. Rubbing my butt, I start to head to class. Oh, wait, Tono-kun. Can you stand there as a punishment? Stand here as a punishment? As usual, she says something strange. Sure, what is it? Just don't move, please. Like yesterday, she starts sniffing me again. Senpai? I can smell you. Tono-kun, did you sleep well last night? Eh? She looks directly into my eyes as she asks. Sleep well. That goes without saying. I couldn't get to sleep easily last night, and also, I blush as the memories resurface. With a piercing gaze, Senpai looks up at me. Senpai, Tono-kun, you pervert. Whoa, huh? With the look indicating she wants to say more, Senpai quickly walks away. Okay. At lunch break, that guy who didn't even show up for a single class arrives. Oh, here he is. Adihiko. Yo, Tono. Food, let's get some food. He's happy about something, being even more energetic than usual. Of course, food. You seem to be in a great mood. Did something happen, Adihiko? Yup. I just asked Senpai if she wanted to eat lunch together and she refused. That's odd. Senpai must be referring to Seo Senpai, but this guy seems to get happy when his offer is refused. Hey, Adihiko, you have that sort of taste? No, I'm not finished. So I asked Senpai why not, and she said if Tono-kun is there, then I don't want to come. Ooh, ha, 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 ha. Isn't that great, Tono? So this is actually the same as what happens before, because I remember this conversation. That's odd. Why have I been friends with this guy since middle school? Oh man, she really hates you, Tono. A rival's loss is my gain, so I'll treat you to lunch today. I just realized how much of my voice is Yajirobe from Dragon Ball. Adihiko happily slaps my back. I see. Senpai's still mad at me about this morning. I have no idea why she's angry at me, but she definitely is angry. Hey, let's go, Tono. There's only seats enough for half the people using the cafeteria. Adihiko takes me by the arm and drags me off. I sit next to Adihiko and eat my lunch. I think, and if I recall correctly, Seo joins us anyway, or maybe that's just her route. My school's cafeteria has a television, and for better or worse for our education, they play back the morning news they recorded this morning. At any rate, the news they are playing back is talking about a drunk customer stabbing to death a convenience store employee, something that makes me not want to go to a convenience store for a few days at least. Ooh, yeah, I can, yeah, I understand that. What a dangerous world we live in. Indiscriminate serial killers, drunken people stabbing people. A man can't even feel safe playing around at night anymore. Adihiko seems like he is seriously watching the news. Well, certainly it is dangerous, but at least those serial killings won't happen anymore, so things should be like usual. Oh really? Did they catch a serial killer? No, they haven't caught him, but Nero is no longer in this world. So the stupid title of the modern day vampire killings shouldn't be showing up in the news anymore, and there will be no more of those meaningless killings. Anyway, those terrible incidents won't happen anymore. There won't be any more victims, and the streets will be back to normal. No, I think there will actually be another victim, Tono. What? How can you be so sure, Adihiko? Well, look for yourself. The news says they found the 10th dead body. Eh? Oh. Oh, really? That's right behind the movie theater I always go to. Hey, wait. I push Adihiko and look at the TV. What I see is without a doubt the news reporting that the 10th victim of the serial killings was found last night. That can't be. Nero is dead. So why is there another dead body with most of its blood drained? Bum bum bum. I'm this modern vampire guy. I don't know anything about the person, but if it's like a sexy chick, I wouldn't mind getting my blood sucked. Am I right, Tono? And Tono's just like pale as a ghost. If it's like a sexy chick, he wouldn't mind getting his blood sucked? That's the thing I noticed. Alright, this is maybe only slightly related. But I noticed a lot of people, especially in the anime community, who like identify someone as like, you know, like an anime chick that you like. You know, come on, we all been there. But for some reason, people want their anime crush to like step on them, to use them as a toothpick. Someone said in Discord the other day. I think that was Genova. I'm like, why do you want your waifus to hurt you? Are you okay? Like, you good? I don't know. I just had to put that out there. His stupid talk might be right. No way. I don't want to think about it, but even with Nero gone, there's still one more vampire left, Shiki. That's his end, then school is over. Actually, it's more like at some point school is over. Wrapped up in my bad thoughts, I look up and suddenly find myself alone. The serial killings are still happening. I don't know what that means. The only one who knows the answer is probably Arcreed. Yeah, the only other vampire, quote unquote. I don't know. I'm not involved in any of those incidents anymore. Once I settled things with Nero, I came back to the ordinary world. Then I can only be insane to want to go back to that abnormal world once again. I shouldn't be involved. I understand even if I don't say it. It's probably my second most correct choice. But a long time ago, someone taught me the most correct choice. Gotta see things through to the end. Listen, Shiki, every person's life is filled with pitfalls. You have more power to do something about it than most people, so you've got to get it together. But I just can't pretend I didn't see it. This incident isn't over yet. It seems once I got involved in this incident, I have to see this out to the very end. I leave school. First, let's get to Arcueed's place. Her room is still the same, but Arcueed isn't there. Well, I didn't think I'd find her this easy. Looks like I have to go out into the city and look for her. The sun sinks and the city is really starting to get dark. I looked around the major places in the city, but I didn't even catch a glimpse of her. Damn it. She was around when it didn't matter, so why can't I find her when I do need her? What should I do? The night is just beginning, so... I don't... Well, either I get a bad end or I get the right choice, so... whatever. The night has just begun. No, to be more exact, if Arcueed would be walking around, it would most likely be during the night rather than during the day. I guess it would be more efficient to search around town. I don't want to think about it, but most of the victims are usually found in alleys. If I want to find Arcueed, if I want to find the vampire killer who's continuing to murder, then I have to stick to searching the streets. Damn it. What am I doing? Not understanding my own feelings, I curse and start to run around aimlessly. Ujia. Sigh. I sit down on the guardrail. It's been several hours already. I looked around aimlessly and I didn't even catch a single glimpse of Arcueed. Damn it. It's so frustrating. Of course, I knew it isn't easy to just randomly find someone in town, but I still felt optimistic I would find her. Where did she go? Why? I just wanted to ask her about the serial killings, but once I find out I can't see her, stop. Stop. I should just stop. I stand up from the guardrail and start walking. It'll be midnight soon. Searching for Arcueed any longer really is just useless. But if I've gone this far, I can do just a little more. There's one last place I need to check. If she's not there, then I'll go back to the mansion. Deserted park. I arrive at the place where I cooperated with Arcueid and defeated Nero. Having only looked in town, I've yet to search here. Well, not that I'll find anything. Grumbling to myself, I enter the park. Midnight. As expected, there's no one here this late at night. With this much silence, it rather feels refreshing. That's right. It's not like I can conveniently find her. I breathe out a sigh and slump my shoulders. How stupid. Why am I so disappointed? I don't understand it myself. Just once more, I think maybe I wanted to see her smile. Ah, there it is. Ah, there you are. Good evening, Shiki. Yeah, just like this. Her face that's so cheerful and carefree you can't believe it belongs to a vet. Arcueid? Without even thinking, I grab both of her shoulders. Eh? Arcueid flinches in surprise. Arcueid's shoulders are indeed real, and I quickly pull my arms back. Why? Even though the one I've been searching for so long is right before me, I can't do anything but stumble over my words. Like I just did. Why? That's odd. I was looking for you, so I don't think it's coincidence we met here. I was trying to briefly remember her voice for a moment. And it's so similar to Akiha's. It just, I found a balance before. I'm just trying to, you know. You were looking for me. Why? Why? Oh, no reason. She says straight out that she has no reason to be looking for me. I forgot. She really is kind of like a cat this way. Well, I guess it works out. To be honest, I wanted to see you too. So meeting here... Oh, this is Shiki. I was about to say it makes me really happy, but I frantically choked those words off. Anyway, I want to have a serious talk. I want to talk about it somewhere else since I feel uneasy here. So is that okay? Sure, but talk about what? Oh, wait. You'll see. Let's go more to the back of the park. Oh. Telling her to come on, I'm sorry, it was so hard to tell who was talking there. Tilting her head in curiosity, she follows me obediently. Because, like, they were both looking for each other, so I wasn't sure who initiated that. What did you want to talk about, Shiki? About vampires. You said it before, that the recent serial killings were the work of a vampire. Arcueid nods. Do you know the morning news said another victim was found? She was killed last night and drained of blood. Arcueid's eyes narrow. Something like a freezing tension races down my spine. Oh, and you... I swallow hard. She stares right at me. Almost a stare which says she will attack me immediately if I move even the slightest bit. Isn't it strange, Arcueid? Nero is dead. So why are these incidents still happening? Don't tell me that you... That's not it at all. That's not me, but another vampire. Arcueid responds immediately, loosening the tension. But I'm not satisfied. What do you mean? The work of another vampire? So they just keep coming? Of course not. The serial killings were always the work of just one vampire from the very beginning. So no new vampires will come, and Nero was unrelated to those incidents. Eh? Nero was unrelated? What do you mean? It's just like I said. You're normally pretty sharp, but you're lost at some points. Think back, Shiki. Nero was a vampire, but did he ever suck human blood? Suck blood? He ate humans and... Oh, I see. Why didn't I notice such a simple mistake? The victims of the serial killings are found with their bodies drained of blood. But Nero was different. He didn't leave any dead bodies behind. He not only drank the blood, but also ate the meat, leaving no trace. To prove it, the people eaten by him in the hotel were treated as missing people, not killed people. So that means it is something completely different. Wait, and what is the serial killing going on right now? Just who is doing it? That's a different vampire than Nero. To be more specific, that vampire is why I came here, and Nero came here following me. It's that sort of correlation. What, so the one you're after wasn't Nero after all? Yes, I didn't ever say he was my initial target. I was his target, but he was never my target. My target is the one called the serial killer in this city. Shiki, I don't quite believe it, but don't tell me you made such a simple mistake. What? I gasp in shock. But it really is just that she says. She said her purpose is to kill vampires, so I just thought it was Nero she was after. So what is it? Killing Nero that night was pointless?
It wasn't pointless, you fought in my place. Well, if you didn't kill me, you probably wouldn't have had to in the first place.
I feel a little dizzy.
In other words, those vampire killings had nothing at all to do with Nero.
Oh, in other words, those vampire killings had nothing at all to do with Nero and it was the work of another vampire?
Yeah, that's right. But that's my problem, so you don't have to worry about it. But more than that, hey.
With an extremely happy smile, Arcuate looks up at me as I still stand there in surprise.
How was last night? Who came?
Huh? What does she mean by last night? I don't understand what she's talking about. After all, I'm the idiot who mistook Arcuate's words and made such a stupid mistake, so of course I don't understand what she is saying and... Huh? Did Arcuate ask me who came last night? Arcuate, what do you mean by last night? Also, choice of words, Arc.
It's strange. I know I sent you a dream familiar.
Wait, what's that dream familiar thing?
It's like a familiar that lets you see a dream about what you desire the most. You're a male, so I sent you a succubus. Wasn't it a good dream?
A good dream? That was... Oh my god. I'm gonna have to remember this split-second censor. I don't think I even remembered to censor this for the fucking Ciel one. Son of a fuck. Might have to just mark this 18+ for a half second of nudity. Damn it. I remember the realistic dream I had and my face turns red. If I forget, that is. If I remember, then... Well, you'll see when you see this. That was your doing? Arcuate grins even more. Crap. If I stayed quiet, this conversation would have been over, but since I reacted so strongly...
Ah, so you did get it. So who came?
I know, it was your sister, right? Whoa. Whoa. Bold assumption, Arcuate. Jeez, dude. Not Akiha. What kind of a guy do you think I am? I'm not crazy to do that to a sister. Damn it, mouse wheel.
If it wasn't your sister, then was it the maids at the mansion?
Arcuate looks up at me full of amusement. He's acting like the Arcuate from last night's dream. Doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. I look away from her and refuse, but Arcuate keeps saying, come on, over and over.
Come on, tell me. You can at least tell me who you dreamed about.
She asks like a curious kid.
Every time I turn away, she keeps jumping in front of me, saying, come on.
This is pure torture. He's as mischievous as last night's dream. I bury my face in my hands.
Hey, Shiki.
God damn it, mouse wheel. And I hate having my hand on my mouse when I play this because it's awkwardly, I have to hold it over my mic stand.
Hey, Shiki, don't be quiet and tell me.
Arcuate keeps looking at me with those upturned eyes. I can't. God. This is my limit. I hesitatingly let it out in a quiet voice.
What about me?
Don't make me say it again. I'm saying that it was you who came. Wow. I shout angrily as I look away. Arcuate's eyes widen in surprise. No, I'm really glad I picked Arc. This is too funny.
Me?
Yeah, it's not a joke. You came and... There's no way I can finish.
Now
Arcuate looks away from me, looking very uncomfortable. Neither of us know what to say. The uncomfortable silence continues. Ahem. I can't bear the silence any longer and forced out that cough. In the first place, why did you send me that dream familiar thing? Are you still angry at me for killing you? That's a bit better. I'm off center though. Crap. Whatever.
That's not it at all. I sent it as thanks for defeating Nero. I really am grateful to you. I thought you'd be extremely happy.
As thanks, I'll pass on that kind of thanks. Having that kind of poor taste, just what are vampires thinking? Maybe a heads up? I slump my shoulders. I don't know what she's mad about, but she looks at me with a dissatisfied expression. Oh.
What's that all about, you meanie? I know I'm not human.
She turns away, then starts walking off. Hey, hold on. Where are you going?
It has nothing to do with you. Don't follow me.
Is she really that angry? Arcuate walks away without even turning around. Where does she plan on going anyway? Maybe I did say too much. No matter what the results were or the methods used,
She really thanked me with good intentions. I start to feel intense regret and think that maybe I should have just accepted her gift happily. Damn it. Why is it that I just can't leave Arcuite alone? Hey, I said wait! Surrounded by the night, Arcuite walks down the street. She looks straight ahead, her white figure with golden hair fluttering. It bears a horrible resemblance to the first time I saw her. No, or perhaps it's like the time she faced off with Nero. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this. Hey, Arcuite! Arcuite continues to walk without turning around. I want to talk to you. You can at least tell me what you're going to do. Of course, Arcuite just continues walking without turning around. It'd be miserable if I left it like this. I decided to follow her silently for now. The footsteps echo through the night air. And then, Arcuite suddenly stops and turns around. Don't follow me. Don't you understand it's troubling for a normal person like you to follow me around? Oh, Arc. Oh, you are so hurt. Yeah. Her being a vampire, she doesn't... Like, being reminded that she's not human, to not have any connections, that she's just trouble to humans. I mean, what even is humanity? Let's go. So tell me what you're going to do and I'll go back. It doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. Arcuite strides off once more. Crap. It seems like our wordless wandering... Seems like our wordless wandering is going to continue. For some reason, I thought he was describing Arc and my brain short-circuited. When we approach the main street, Arcuite freezes. This is, when she gets the dead, right? Found it. Yup. Eh? Her voice is cold like a totally different person's. Ah, a chill runs up my spine. Even from behind, I can feel the hostility manifesting itself in her. Arcuite, what are you... I can't even finish. It's clear what she intends to do without saying anything. Without a doubt, there's nothing but the pure, unadulterated intent to kill. Hey, what are you thinking? Arcuite doesn't answer. Her eyes are fixed solely on a man in a business suit walking by. Shiki, take off your glasses and look at that person. That person? You mean that businessman? Hurry. If you want to know what I'm doing, then leave the questions for later. Alright. I don't like to look while in town, but... I take off my glasses. Gah. Instantly, a light headache springs forth. In exchange for the pain, I can see lines running all along the walls and the ground. Another question, Shiki. You only see points on living things, right? Eh? Yeah, that seems to be true. Things like buildings only have lines. I saw them back during the time in that hotel, but at the cost of a headache that almost caused me to pass out. Right, since you are a living being, you can't comprehend the death of inanimate objects. So in order to see the death of inanimate objects, you must first connect to a circuit of the same orientation as them. To see, you have to comprehend them first. And another question. Shiki, how does that person look to you? It'll just be the same as always. Without thinking, I step backwards. What is that? Certainly all humans have lines on them, but they only have countable amounts and they also look like geometric patterns. But what is that? There are lines running all through him. Those lines are all over him like blood vessels, so much that I can't even make out his appearance. Gah, I want to puke. Those black lines, scribbles making a human shape everywhere throughout it. I can see black points that look like they are flowing blood. Shiki, how does it look? I was hoping it would look normal to you. I can't answer. Right now it takes all my strength just not to vomit. I see. How unfortunate that you can even see death on that thing. Yeah, it's not normal, but I can still see the lines. I knew it. You can even kill the dead. The fact that they don't have any life has no meaning for you. Something that moves, something that breaks, you can stop it completely without exception. You're more of a monster, Shiki. Eh? I think that's so cool, by the way. As you saw, you can't call that thing human anymore. It's a vampire that deceives death by sucking the blood of other people. Arcuite quickens her steps. She walks straight towards the man. Hey, Arcuite! Stay there, Shiki. Did that young man realize Arcuite was there? He starts running towards a back alley. Arcuite strides silently. Underneath the moonlight, she disappears into that alley. Thump. Sound of my heartbeat is always awfully close. It's not even real late at night. Even though I'm in the midst of a bustling shopping district, I can't sense anyone besides myself. Thump. My glasses, I have to put on my glasses. If I don't do that, I'll see terrible things. I'll see something so terrible that everything I've seen so far would be nothing in comparison to it. Thump. But my body won't move. My eyes that can't see this patchwork world look towards that alley in fascination. Suddenly, sounds vanish. And the presence of other people, the sound of the wind, and the smell of the dirt, all of it freezes. Under the frozen moon, bizarre noise sounds from the other side of the wall. Go. No way I can see it. I can't hear anything. A sickening sound. But I can see it. My eyes definitely see the sound of death and death crashing. Gah. My vision turns crimson. Why do my eyes see death, something that shouldn't be able to be seen? My glasses. I have to put on my glasses or I'll go insane. I hold back the rising gorge in my throat and use my shaking hand to put on my glasses. Sound and light return. Now that I'm calm, I glance around and see nothing out of the ordinary in the shopping district. The bustling of many people passing by. Brightness of a store's decorated show window and the sound of rushing car engines. I'm panting excessively. I can hardly breathe. Even though I put my glasses back on, I can still feel a lingering remnant of that death and it makes me sick. Arcuid? Arcuid walks out from the alley with faltering steps, breathing even harder than I am. Shiki, I see you were still here. Shoulders heaving up and down, she passes by me. Her body sways back and forth and she walks weakly as if she was sick. To be honest, I still feel nauseous. But seeing Arcuid in pain like that makes me bear it. Wait, what in the world? I'm fine, just a little tired, so don't worry. It really doesn't concern you, Shiki. Idiot, if you're tired, then rest. With such a pale face, you can't be fine. Even as I breathe shallowly for air, I grab Arcuid's arm. Hey now. You say that, but you look like you'll collapse too. Oh, it's just my anemia. If you have time to worry about me, worry about your health. It's fine. There's no point in worrying about it anyway. How sad. Her breathing really is weak. Don't tell me that wound from that time. It hasn't healed? But I can't bring myself to finish. It's because she got it saving me. She doesn't answer and looks down. That is affirmation rather than disagreement. Yeah, she did save Shiki before at the hotel. Just made it worse for herself after already being killed by him. What are you doing in your condition? You have to take it easy until you're fully healed. I do think I'm taking it easy. No, you're not. Even if you are at a level beyond humans, what in the world were you doing earlier in your condition? I just can't leave her be. I knew it. I just can't leave this person who's always getting into trouble alone. Don't be silent and answer me. Until you tell me, I won't go away. I grasp at both of her shoulders. Still looking down, she gives a slight nod. Geez, you really are persistent. Fine, let's go somewhere else to talk. Releasing herself, she waveringly starts to walk away. We come to the park. As if walking restored her strength, her face looks as cheerful as always. Well, as you wish, Shiki. I'll talk about whatever you want. I don't know where her previous weakness went, but she looks really haughty all of a sudden. Then I'll ask, but just what was that guy earlier? You said he was a vampire. Was he what you were after? No, he certainly is part of my target, but putting the dead back into the grave isn't my goal. I only got him because he was a minion of my enemy. If I left him alone, he would kill more people to increase his power. Arcuid, could you explain it so I can understand? I don't even know if that guy was even human or not. Oh, I guess I never really did explain to you in detail about vampires. Nero was sort of an aberration amongst the vampire race, so I didn't really need to explain it at that time. What is a normal vampire then? What I mean is what you all think of vampires. Immortal, never aging, sucking human blood, turning that human into a vampire, being destroyed by sunlight, all of that. My enemy is that old type of vampire. So you mean this enemy of yours is the one behind all the recent serial killings? I suppose. But the killing of all those people by sucking their blood might be the work of the dead, like the one you saw earlier. Shiki, you remember how Nero's body was made of all those familiars, right? Yeah, that's not exactly something I can easily forget. The dead are like that. When humans have their blood sucked by a vampire, they can also receive some of the vampire's blood. They die but remain in this world as a servant of the vampire. They are called the dead, and they are like the vampire's familiars. Maybe it's easier to understand if I use the word zombie. It's closer to the voodoo belief in Haiti, where the white serpent god Dambala is invoked to control a dead body, but let's just say a dead body that moves is a zombie, okay? Yeah, I can visualize it better that way. I get it, so that man was killed by a vampire who uses him as a zombie? Yes, Archimedes nods happily. I'm still confused though. Why would a vampire do that? Killing people, not letting them die but controlling them, what bad taste. You're right, those vampires do have bad taste. But that's something only the dead apostles do. Those that were always vampires from the very beginning do not do such things. Always vampires from the very beginning. I remember. You said there's two types of vampires, those who were vampires originally and those who were humans. When I heard that before, it's kind of stuck in my head. I thought it was a little odd. What exactly do you mean by those who weren't originally vampires? Simple, I'm just saying that dead apostles used to be humans. They either gained immortality through magic or became servants of the true ancestors that sucked their blood. Shiki, you said it was bad taste to use killed humans, but that's just the least of it. There are other vampires who think up worse games. A game? What is that? You guys kill for fun and use their dead bodies as toys? I won't deny that. For vampires, amusement is the same as breathing. For those who were once human but gained imperfect immortality, their greatest enemy is boredom. They didn't have a reason to become immortal to start with, so once they gained immortality, they lost all kinds of greed. Their goal was immortality itself, so I guess that's just the way things are. They're bored so they want to play? Don't be ridiculous. Isn't it enough that they won't age or die? Do they really need anything else? That's what I said. They got everything they wanted. After that, there is no meaning to existence. As soon as someone realizes they have no value, that their life is stopped, then their meaning of existence disappears too. That just made me sad for Seo. Immortality is also another word for death. So they started to wear down and they started to create their own amusement, as if to tell themselves they could have fun as long as they lived. That's their beginning. They copy humans and see themselves in a game as lords of a castle expanding their territory. I guess you could call it a country of the dead. Seems they got more enjoyment out of that than they expected. She speaks as if she was talking of other people. Archimedes should be one of those, but she certainly doesn't seem like that. Seem like she has that sort of hobby. That's the thing with Ark, like she already feels like, of course, the thing like I only cause trouble for you, you're human, and she also has no sense of like connection with other vampires. Like she's, before Shiki, she was like truly alone. But she's yep. Well, we'll change the topic, but the dead apostles were originally human. There are a few cases where they became vampires through their own magical research, but the majority of them were humans who had their blood sucked. They are immortal, but they can't last forever. They can only be immortal if they drink the blood of others. Didn't I say their immortality was imperfect? If they can't feed on humans, then their immortality is gone. Wait a minute, isn't that odd? In order to become immortal, they drink the blood of humans, but doesn't that mean new dead apostles will be born every time they do that? That's true, but things get complex from here. The people who have their blood sucked die, but at that time, if the dead apostles place a little of their blood inside the corpse, the body cannot die. Those bodies that were unable to die stay a number of years in the grave, and when the brain decays and the soul is fixated in the body, they become a flesh-eating corpse, ghoul. Only 1 out of every 100 people have this potential, so not everyone gets to stay. Actually forgot that detail. Well, there are those that have a natural ability to step up this progress and become a vampire immediately, but this is so rare it's out of the question. So the dead bodies that became ghouls eat the flesh of other corpses in order to sustain their decayed body parts. After restoring their bodies fully, they can become zombies, members of the class of living corpses, the living dead. So these living dead, is that the dead from before? Not at all. The dead are just puppets. Mouse, please. The living dead are much weaker than the dead, but they are members of the vampire race with a will of their own. They are on a different level than those manipulated dead. And after many years, once a living dead is able to restore its intelligence, it becomes a vampire. It's probably about only 1 out of every 10,000 who have this ability. I said it before, but the more potential you have, the higher the success rate to stay. We call the dead apostles the ones that make all these kinds of vampires. Yeah, it's crazy. I actually forgot. She actually laid out, I think she said it before when she explained this in CL Route, but for some reason this is like a big reminder to me, kind of like the life cycle or stages of if you could make it to that point that you'd become a vampire. That's still odd. If this game goes on, then won't the world be overflowing with vampires eventually? Not necessarily. The dead apostles usually get killed by the new vampires they created. Didn't I say it before? They act like humans. For their own enjoyment, they place their own blood inside the humans they preyed on. 1 out of tens of thousands of these corpses become vampires and eventually kill their parent vampires, becoming a new dead apostle themselves. Like knights becoming lords through strength of arms and killing the king, they can only survive by playing those sorts of games. Yeah, I don't really understand why, but I guess that stops them from dying of boredom. The whims of an existence close to a devil, I suppose. Even if they are immortal, if they can't hold on to their meaning for existence, it is an empty immortality. Arcuita remarks how silly it is as she slumps her shoulders. I see. Then that dead that you killed earlier, that was something like a soldier of the dead apostles? Not so much a soldier as a puppet. Dead apostles control the dead bodies by skipping the process of becoming a vampire. Dead are completely connected to their parent vampire. In order for them to survive, they attack others to eat their flesh, but more than half of that energy goes to their master. Like a queen bee nourished by the worker bees, the dead apostles can use the dead to increase their power while they sleep. My enemy can't be found easily because he's using a lot of the dead. He only dirties his hands once. After that, he simply controls the dead while he sleeps and expands his territory. They say many bodies are found in the recent supposed serial killings, but those are actually just failures. To tell the truth, there are over 100 victims in this city. But only a small amount, the ones discovered, are the victims in the news. What? Over 100? There are that many that had their blood sucked? And all those people suck the blood of others to make them into monsters like themselves, like that wandering lifeless thing earlier? That's ridiculous. 3 days ago, I remember how all those people in the hotel were killed for no reason. I was there, but I didn't see it, so I can only visualize and can't really tell what kind of violence it was. It's still the same. I can't fathom the existence of vampires that suck human blood just to increase their own territory. Just without reason, without even recognition. If someone close to me died like that, how would I act? I don't want to imagine it, but for a brief instant, I imagine Agiya being drained of blood and discarded like trash. Please don't be foreshadowing. What makes me mad is that this worst case scenario could happen at any minute in this town and I didn't even have a clue about it before. I knew you would be angry, Shiki. I didn't want to talk about it because for the prey, for you guys, this is an inexcusable evil. For people like you, the actions of the vampires are inexcusable. That's right. That's just also ridiculous. Even if it's people I don't know about, they have their past and even their dreams they hoped for. Even I don't want to be killed just for the fun of it. That's just too regretful. It's too meaningless. It's all just so regretful, isn't it? That's right. All those people were killed by Nero in the midst of fear and chaos. Weren't their last thoughts full of regretful sadness? That night at the park. That girl who was killed by Nero when she passed by the park by sheer coincidence. She didn't even realize when she died. That meaninglessness. The abruptness of its ending. A death no one else even knows about. When it happened, I was broken apart by the complete irrationality of it all. My fear of Nero disappeared, and more than anything else, I hated him. Can't accept it. No matter what the reason, I can't accept it. I grit my teeth. Shiki, there is no reason. For them, it's just a game. Why, it's ridiculous. It's just a game to you all? Nero and this other guy, what do they think human life is? They come up with such games because they think it's nothing. Even I can't understand how they think, nor do I intend to. But, if you ask who's at fault here, it's the weaker one, right? In the end, those that are killed are at fault. It's all the will of nature that those who are unable to to protect themselves are killed. I don't know about that. But I guess you are a true ancestor. You can talk about the will of nature. What? But Shiki, if you talk about it that way, your human species is really strong. The ability to make up for their weakness as a species with other things, that makes them the strongest in a way. Hell yeah, dude. Probably the only ones that can kill the greatest creature called the world are you humans. Yeah. But even though they are strong as a species, they are weak as individuals. They can't live without sacrificing the lives of those not of their race, which is the ultimate evil, is it not? Doesn't matter if they have intelligence or not. For you guys, everything is fair game for food, is it not? So the ones doing the killings are always right. If there is a sin, then it is you guys for not being able to protect yourself if under that rule. That's just the argument of the strong. Humans aren't as strong like you all. Because we can't protect ourselves fully. That's why we have to live together to help each other. I don't know what to do if somebody like you guys came in and... That's true. That is your defense mechanism. Since you can't protect yourself when those kinds of species enter your group, you guys make rules to ensure they are unable to enter. Yes, it's just like you say, Shiki. So usually this town's case doesn't happen. You may not know it, but your human race is really strong. You have erected a defense mechanism against those races which far exceed yours. If it was functioning properly, the city would not have had a vampire these last 8 years. She's talking about, oh gosh, I forgot. The will of humanity, right? The counter force, essentially. Defense mechanism? Yes. The reason vampires hide the bodies of their victims and stay out of sight isn't because they don't want to be known to humans. To protect their own lives, they conceal their identity and expand. Okay, I remember this part. Actually, never mind. They don't want it to be known that vampires exist at all. If they move freely about, the defense mechanism would arrive. Well, they probably haven't arrived, even though that modern day vampire news is going on, because this is an atheist country. Her word choice is too unique, and I can't really grasp what she's saying. An atheist country? I guess, you know, she means the church coming in, being like active here. CL's here due to a special reason, so yeah. But you can relax, Shiki. Even if their avowed enemies are not in this country, I'm here right now. Didn't I say earlier my purpose was to execute vampires? I don't know where that heavy atmosphere went because Arcuate instantly becomes cheerful. Yeah, I remember. But you're a vampire too, right? Why do you side with us humans? I'm not really siding with you humans, but I'm doing it because I don't have anything else to do. She doesn't have anything else to do? I still don't understand her. Well, doing that does bring the dead apostles after me, but you beat Nero who was pursuing me, didn't you, Shiki? So now I can go back to the original plan and defeat my enemy. You can go back to living your normal life now, and you don't have to associate with me anymore. That smile is a mask. She smiles as if she is happy about something. Yeah, that makes me happy, but are you okay by yourself? Those words float in the back of my head. There's something wrong with me. Feeling guilty about letting her face danger all by herself. There really has to be something wrong with me. Shiki? Why are you making that troubled face again? Because I'm troubled. This is something that involves the city I live in. I said you shouldn't worry. In 2 or 3 days it'll all be over and there won't be any more victims. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be involved. But saying that line, shouldn't I, the one actually living in the city, say that line instead of Arcuate? Arcuate, can I ask a question? This enemy you speak of, is he strong? Well, he should be many times superior to the dead earlier. I haven't met him this time, but he has been latent for 8 years, so maybe he's a class 5 by now. You're saying he's stronger than the dead before? Looking like she was in so much pain from fighting just him, isn't she taking him a little lightly? Class 5? I don't get it, but does that mean he's stronger than Nero? Not a chance. Nero was special. He was the pure, supreme vampire that would be difficult to defeat even with my full power. Compared to him, this enemy is pretty weak. Oh. And there's no way you'll be defeated. I breathe out in relief. Who knows? A few days earlier and he wouldn't be a problem, but now I'm just recovering. The possibility that he has more power is actually high. Recovering? Are you sick or something, Arcueid? Yeah, I still have the effects from when you killed me, and I don't think I'll be fine for at least a few more days. Ah. That's right, the reason why Arcueid is weak, it isn't anyone's fault but mine. Arcueid lightly touches her side. Seems the wounds don't heal like usual. I could manage the outside, but I can't seem to heal the inside. That wound as well. What she received to save me. I'm at a loss for words. It's completely my fault she's in that position. So why doesn't she hold it against me? Why does she just give that innocent smile? You need to stop. Until you heal up, you should just rest. If you take a day or two off, things won't be that bad, so... That's no good. Thanks to Nero coming, the enemy knows I'm here. If I rest, that's like telling him I'm weakened. So you're saying you're going to keep on going like this? Yes. Since I don't know where the enemy's lair is, I have to keep destroying his blood supply. If I cut that off, it will force him to come out. Arcueid, what if that's tomorrow? Wouldn't you be killed instead? Then... I want to tell her to stop, but I halt mid-sentence. Like Arcueid says, if the enemy sees that weakness, Arcueid might be killed. More than anything else I learned from the past 4 days. Arcueid isn't someone to stop halfway when she's decided to do something, no matter how much it hurts. Damn, Arcueid won't stop. If I leave her alone, she probably won't even be able to talk like this anymore. It makes me mad, but she's not even afraid of her own death. Is that so? Why does she smile like that? If she doesn't smile like that, if she acted more like a real vampire, I wouldn't have to feel like this. What's wrong, Shiki? Your body is shaking. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Why are you so relaxed? Damn it. I don't want to lose her. I don't know what this feeling is. These past 4 days are not something I can just forget about. So to part here with the possibility she may die tomorrow, the regret would be completely, utterly, unbearably difficult. Give me a break. My eyes are already broken, but my heart's going to break as well. Arcueid is a vampire, and I don't want to be involved in something like that again. I remember the fight with Nero. Just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. The fear of being one step away from death still remains. This is the same. Definitely, the opponent this time isn't normal. There's really no need for me to be involved. Since Arcueid is saying she'll handle it, I can rely on her. But even knowing all of that, I can't just leave her alone. Damn, what the hell is wrong with me? I kicked the ground. I'm angry at myself for not accepting any reasoning or excuses. What? What's wrong, Shiki? Getting so angry like that all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm just angry at my stupidity. I want to say this after all that which happened to me. I feel more mad now that I actually say it. Being this stupid, I know if I could see myself in the mirror, I'd break it to pieces. Hey, really, what's wrong, Shiki? You're not acting normal. Yeah, I'm not. If I was acting normal, I really wouldn't say this. I spit. I really don't want to admit it, but it's already a done deal. Because my mouth has already confirmed it for me. Oh, I just can't understand it, Shiki. What is it? You keep saying you're going to say something, but what is it? Stupid, isn't it obvious? Until your body heals, I'll help you. That's what the stupid fool Tono Shiki wants to say. Eh? Arcueid looks at me in total surprise. As for me, finally saying it kind of calms me down. Shiki, is that for real? I groan. I didn't hear it. Please, can you say it again? I groan more. No matter how much I regret it, it's done. The instant I form my feelings into words, I can't lie to myself any longer. Hurry. I want to hear those words again. Arcueid asks softly. Looking off in the distance, I try to sound reluctant. I guess it can't be helped. It's my fault that you are weakened now, and I can't leave the monster roaming the streets alone either. I can't rely on you taking care of it by yourself, so if you let me, I want to help you. That's what I said. Shiki. Arcueid's eyes are suddenly alight. She grabs my hand and happily shakes it up and down. Well, I may not be that helpful, but it has to be better than nothing. Yeah, if you are helping me, there's nothing to be afraid of. She keeps shaking my hand up and down. How do I say this? She really does seem happy. But what do we do now? You want to search for more of the dead like before? Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. The one before was the 12th, so I don't think there's many more. The parent vampire will have to come out once they all are destroyed, so we have to hunt the remaining ones for now. Is that still okay? Is that still okay? She asks. Anything is fine. I'm just with you. If you lead, then I'll follow. Well, shall we start again? No, that's good for tonight. They usually follow a fixed route, and the other dead will probably not be out tonight. Since they are fewer in number, I don't think he'll let them all come out at once. Oh, really? But doesn't that mean this enemy will try to hide the dead from you, Arcueid? Basically. But since this enemy is a vampire, he needs to steal the blood and energy of others. So even though he knows I'm searching for them, he has to send the dead out to get the minimal blood he needs. Then the minimal dead he sent out was that man from before, huh? So searching further tonight will be useless, I think. Well, I don't mind. But it is tedious, though. Yeah, hunting vampires is tedious work. We have to find the coffin of this enemy somewhere in the city, so it won't be easy. Arcueid lets go of my hand and jumps back softly. Arcueid? Let's say goodbye for tonight. We'll meet tomorrow. With her dance-like steps, she watches me as she gets farther away. Tomorrow, wait, where should we meet? Here's fine. The time, yeah, around 10 o'clock should be fine. With a smile, she makes that promise. Good night, Shiki. I'll see you here tomorrow. And waving her hand, Arcueid disappears. And this time we won't have any CL versus Arc fight, I don't think. I get back to the mansion. As it is very late, the mansion is completely dark. This can't be good. Put my hand on the mansion gate. Ka-chang. A sturdy chain holds it closed. Dang. I shouldn't cut this. I think a bit. Then I decide to climb over the gate. I'm exhausted. After sneaking over the wall like a thief, I quietly make my way to the doorway. The gate was locked, but the door isn't. Must have been Hisui. I give a sigh of thanks. So as not to wake Akiya, Kohaku-san, or Hisui, I sneak my way through the mansion. Whew. Letting out a breath, I lay down on my bed. My promise to Arcueid. Maybe it's fate, but you've gotten yourself tangled up in trouble again, Tonoshiki. Could I help it? I just can't leave her alone. Apparently not. Or maybe I didn't want to leave her alone. Well, I do think she is pretty. I don't understand my feelings right now. Right now, I'm not too sure what is right and what is wrong. At any rate, it looks like I'll be helping Arcueid once again starting tomorrow. So for now, I shouldn't think of anything else but getting a good night's sleep. Back then, this whole mansion was like a giant playground. The garden, a deep forest. The house, a tall castle. We played in our own little world, which would take days to explore. Every day was fun. No one thought about ever growing up, and we believed that days and nights would always be the same. It was just a childhood spent playing like puppies. We got along wonderfully and were the best of playmates. Whenever I turned back, Akiya would be there, waving her hands and hiding shyly. Yes, always the same. At that time, the mansion was a giant playground. The garden, a deep forest. The house, a tall castle. We played in our own little world, which would take days to explore. I slowly awaken and open my eyes. The morning light wraps around me and my sleepiness starts to lift. As the last vestiges clear, I sense that I had a very nostalgic dream. As soon as I open my eyes, I start to see those terrible things jump into my vision. My head stabs with pain. Gah! I scramble for the glasses by my pillow and put them on. I take in some air. After taking a few deep breaths, I manage to calm down. Why did I so early? See those lines so clearly this early in the morning? It's difficult to see the lines of death in buildings. It's usually hard to see them, and seeing them so clearly like I just did now is rare. What's more, I even saw those points. I think my headache is getting worse too. Since they said these eyes would attract things that weren't good, I think Arcueid and these vampires are certainly not good. So maybe it's all affecting my eyes and making them stronger. Can't be. I'm probably just tired. Please excuse me. Isui enters and greets me with a bow. Ah, morning, Isui. Yes, good morning, Shiki-sama. Isui brings my uniform as usual, but I can tell she is a bit angry. The reason doesn't need to be said. She must be angry over yesterday because I didn't get back until very late, worked my way into my room and slept. Isui, last night, Shiki-sama, there's no need to give me any excuses. Answering quickly, she starts walking towards the door. Then please excuse me. Nesan has prepared your breakfast, so please hurry to the sitting room. Yeah, I plan on doing so. And Shiki-sama, Akiya-sama would like to talk to you about your late return last night. So please hurry to the sitting room. Here we go. Well, she is gonna be our future route, so she shuts the door emotionlessly. Well, come to think of it, this is a perfectly natural result. Akiya is the only one in the sitting room. Kawaku-san is in the kitchen humming away. Akiya doesn't say anything when she sees me and sips her tea quietly. Hey, good morning, Akiya. I try to greet her as naturally as I can. Akiya's eyebrow twitches as she places her teacup down and slowly looks at me. Good morning, Nisan. It was quite late when you came home last night, wasn't it? No, not really. It was at most a little past 1 o'clock, quite normal for a healthy young man in high school to be up, right? I see. My bedtime is also past midnight, so I was up past that time. But I would come home much earlier than that. Well, there were some pressing circumstances and I couldn't get back. But I did return, so... Yes, very late at night, and you went back to your room. Without saying anything or even making a noise. Goodness, you acted like you were out doing something you felt guilty over. Her stare is pure ice. This is the second time, and I'm sure even though Akiya looks calm, she is quite angry. Nisan, I don't know what went on at the Arima house, but here the curfew is 8 o'clock. It is a rule that must not be broken. Why? The gate will be locked after that, so please don't climb in like a robber. Oh, you knew? The surveillance camera showed me quite clearly. It is a good thing Kawaku realized it was you and turned off the alarm system, because otherwise you would probably be detained right now. Oh, I should thank Kawaku-san then. And Akiya, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have kept quiet about it. If you understand, then it is fine. Please make sure you observe your curfew from now on. I will overlook it this time. About that, Akiya. What is it? This is a little hard to say. I have something to do tonight too. I don't know when I will be back, but I'm not going to do anything bad. Akiya's gaze tightens. Kawaku. She suddenly stands up. Kawaku-san comes in from the kitchen. Yes, what is it, Akiya-sama? I will be going to school, get the preparations ready. Huh? But I have not yet made Shiki-san's breakfast. You can leave this person alone. It seems he can do everything by himself. Akiya strides towards the lobby. Kawaku-san sighs. Shiki-san, you should not make Akiya-sama so upset. You are her big brother, so please treat her better, okay? Saying that, she walks after Akiya. The teacup sits, still steaming. Well, in short, I'm left by myself to calmly consider my situation. Guess I'm skipping breakfast today. Yeah, no doubt. I should stop by a convenience store on the way and buy some bread. Fourth period class is about modern society. The mood in the classroom is somewhat lighter than usual before lunch. Today is Wednesday, so there's one less hour of classes than usual. After lunch, there's homeroom and an hour of deciding what to do for the culture festival. What's more, tomorrow is a school holiday, so after this fourth period is over, it's practically vacation already. It's only natural for everyone to be waiting for the end of class bell to ring. Sleepy. I give a big yawn. The class is completely unchanged. The whole day progresses with nothing out of the ordinary. Come to think of it, I've been through so many strange experiences, I almost feel odd just sitting in class. And after classes are over and night falls, I'll have to go out once more with Arcuid. Thinking of that, I really don't have the time to be fooling around here. I look at my reflection in the window glass. Tomoshiki's face seems to be happy for some reason. Grr. I tighten my expression. It's not like roaming in the streets with Arcuite is fun, so why am I acting like this? You're looking forward to it. Wow, I don't think I've seen that CG before. Arcuite? There's really something wrong. Oh my god, she's out the window, that's why. Looking out the window and into the rear courtyard, I can see an illusion of her waving her hand at me and saying, hey. Hey, wait a minute. What? I push myself onto the window and look down. I can only see the very edge of the rear courtyard, but without a doubt, Arcuite in her usual manner is at my school. I look around the classroom. Fortunately, there's no one who noticed a strange foreigner waving to me. What is she thinking? I moan to myself as I clutch my head. But complaining does me no good. There's about 20 minutes till lunch. What are you going to do, Shiki? If you leave her alone, who knows what she'll do? Alright, first of all, that third option is just cruel. Ignore her. I feel like that's bad in city. Let's just go, because I'm actually curious. That's right. Preventable disasters should be stopped before they happen. Before she can start any interesting trouble, I have to take her off the school grounds. Sensei, I feel my anemia coming, so I need to leave. I raise my hand and after getting permission from the teacher, fly out of the classroom. Well, that works. Ah, you're here. That was a pretty fast sprint. You're looking pretty lively this morning, Shiki. My jaw hangs wide open. As I sprint into the courtyard, Arcuite greets me with her usual radiance. It's smaller than I expected. I thought a school would be much bigger than this. Kya! I grab Arcuite's arm. You, come with me. Dragging Arcuite behind me, I dash to a place where people won't see us. Oh, always this spot, huh? Hey, what are you doing taking me here all of a sudden? This place is no fun at all. Arcuite seems to be disappointed in this place, but it's not like school is a really interesting place to begin with. What are you doing? That's my line, Arcuite. I let go of her arm and thrust my index finger towards her face. What do you mean? I'm asking why you're walking around during daytime and why you came to my school. You haven't even healed yet, so why can't you just settle down and rest? But since you said you would help me, I thought I would look for clues during the day. I didn't want to make you do any extra work. Don't worry about that. Since I said I'd help, any extra work we'll do together, so just forget about it. Jeez. You're weakest during the middle of the day, yet you still leave. You just enjoy making me worry? I'm sorry. Well, as long as you understand, it's okay. Arcuite? I'm sorry for making you worry. No, actually, thanks. I think my heart beats loudly. Arcuite apologizing like this is a bit out of ordinary, or I think, terribly cute. But you're at fault too, Shiki. I was watching for the longest time from the courtyard, but you never noticed me. I didn't know how to get inside, so I was thinking about dashing up to where you were. Just up the side of the building. Dash up? You mean to my classroom on the 3rd floor? Yes, footing wouldn't be difficult on the veranda, and it's really easy to jump up there. I take it all back. As usual, she completely lacks any common sense. Good. That wouldn't have been pretty if you did that. I guess that would have happened if I ignored her. Oh, damn it. I breathe a sigh of relief. I don't think many people noticed her, or maybe she wouldn't have. In the first place, there's only a few desks that can look out into the courtyard. And? So why the heck did you come to my school? You said you were looking for clues. I just felt something from around here. Oh, did you now? And I picked up your scent and realized it was your school. You weren't thinking and you just came for no reason. I give a frown. Is she a dog or something? Well, excuse me. I came here for a reason. There's hardly any traces of the dead here, so I wanted to see it for myself. Really? But if there's no traces of the dead here, then shouldn't this place be unimportant? There's no one at school at night, so if the dead wanted some prey, they would go downtown, not to a school. Well, that does make sense. There's nothing strange here. I can't really sense the dead, but since my eyes see death, I can tell without taking off my glasses. I see. If you say so, Shiki, then there's nothing strange about this place, perhaps. Oh, little do they know. Not perhaps, definitely. Arcueid looks like she doesn't believe me. And then the chime rings announcing the end of 4th period. Oh no, is it lunch already? Even though most people don't stay by this grove, since it's lunchtime there will be lots of people walking by. Anyway, if we stay here any longer, people will see us. I'll keep my promise for sure, so just go home and rest. You may see the enemy tonight. Oh? You sound like you want me out of here, Shiki? Excuse me. She starts to look angry again. Ah, that's just your imagination, so hurry on back. Otherwise things might get a little hairy. Oh, go. I push her from behind. Oh, she's so adorably herself. Though her eyes indicate she wants to say something, she just leaves silently. After watching Arcueid leave, I return to the courtyard. What is it? Someone is looking this way. Oh god. Senpai? No mistake, it's Xiao Senpai. But why is she making that expression? She has a fearsome expression that almost makes me doubt it's actually her. Senpai. I call out to her as I run. Senpai simply stands there watching me. What are you doing here? The same for you, Tono-kun. What were you doing there? Lunch has just begun, so for you to be back there you must have skipped 4th period class. Of course not. I just flew out of the classroom, that's all. Oh, Senpai answers without any enthusiasm. It's her normal smile, but it seems like she's glaring at me. More than that, did you eat lunch yet? If not, would you like to eat with me? I try and play it all off casually. I'm sorry, I already have someone else. Please ask me some other time. I already have, Xiao. We already did that. For an instant, she looks incredibly down as she says that. Oh. Senpai, what's wrong? You don't look too well. No, that isn't it. It's just that it's true that fun things end rather quickly, Tono-kun. Wow. She gives a brilliant smile in contrast to before. With that, she walks inside by herself. I don't think she had someone else. I mean, Adehiko would, but I don't know. In that moment, she might have been lying. Mouse wheel? As expected, the debate over what to do for the culture festival is a stormy one. Since everyone's opinions are different, the decision gets postponed till next week. Okay. I remember this scene, but obviously what just happened before is an Arcueid route thing. I remember this culture festival thing in the classroom. By the time it's over, it's late in the afternoon. Everyone gets up tiredly from their chairs and leaves the classroom. Well then, there's nothing to do in the classroom. I should get ready for tonight and go back to the mansion. I don't swing by anywhere else and head right back to the mansion. Alright. The sun hasn't quite set, so Akiha probably isn't back yet. That Akiha. I wonder if she's still mad like this morning. Well, that can't be helped either. I can't tell her the truth, so I'll probably just continue to be hated as a terrible older brother. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. Hisui bows as I enter the mansion. Yeah, I'm back. Thanks for greeting me, Hisui. It's been a week since I've come back, but I'm not used to this yet. Akiha isn't back yet? No. She told me to tell you she would be back especially late tonight, so please eat dinner on your own, Shiki-sama. I knew she'd still be angry from this morning. I slump my shoulders as I start to walk to my room. And then, Shiki-sama. Hisui looks around the lobby before she speaks again. Forgive me for asking an awkward question, but will you be leaving tonight again, Shiki-sama? Eh? She fixates her emotionless eyes on me. I think she simply wants to know what time I'll be back because she's so dedicated of a servant, but letting her know means Akiha would know. I should... This is cool. Yep. That's right. No matter how hard I try, I can't hide it from Hisui and Kohaku-san, who are in charge of maintaining the mansion. But the least I can do is let them know when I'll be gone every night in the following days. Sorry for, I'm touching my hair a lot. My hair has gotten, it's just growing. I've obviously not had a haircut since, quarantine began. But, jeez, man. Because I don't want to risk cutting my own hair. I shaved my head, years ago. I think in high school. I just shaved my head because randomness. Teenage stuff.
But yeah, it's gotten like really long in the back. Might have to grow up my Kirei mullet. So the least I can do, yep. Yeah, to tell the truth, I'll probably leave for a number of nights starting now. I swear I'm not just playing around or doing anything bad. Akiya will probably end up hating me, but I can't stop now. Yeah, the vampire's still somewhere in town preying on victims. As a person who lives here, I just can't pretend like I didn't see it. I know it's a burden to you, Hisui, but please overlook it. I don't know what time I'll be back, so please just leave the gate unlocked. Shiki-sama, are you saying you will not tell us why? Yeah, sorry, Hisui. You can think I'm totally irresponsible, but please don't ask. I don't want to have to lie. No, you are my master. The servant does not despise her master like that. She speaks plainly and without any expression. The conversation ends and I go up to return to my room. Please wait. Forgive my impertinence, but... After cutting off, she tightens both of her hands as she looks over at me. If you would like me to, Shiki-sama, I can keep your leaving a secret from Akiya-sama. Wow. Eh? You mean you're not going to tell? Yes. After dinner, it is extremely rare for Akiya-sama to leave her room. Nessan and I are responsible for conducting a patrol right before she sleeps, so if I do not... if I do not tell the truth, she will not know. Yeah, that helps. It helps, but is that okay? Isn't she your employer? Mouse wheel, please. I told you you are my master, Shiki-sama. I'm kind of happy. I always have to tell her to stop adding sama, but at times like this, I think I'm incredibly lucky. How can I help but be happy? Yeah, that helps, so if you can, please do so. And please use the rear entrance tonight. The front entrance will be locked, but if you have the key and use the servant's entrance, you can come and leave undetected. Oh? There's a servant's entrance? No wonder I never saw you leave through the gate. No, the only one who uses that is Nessa. She has the key, so I will get it to you later. Perfect. Well then, she says, after which she bows and disappears. Alright. Help just came from an unexpected source. With this, it seems I can keep my promise with Arcuid without worrying Akiha. After dinner, I go back to my room. It's almost 10 o'clock. While I was eating, Hisui placed the key on my desk. Now then, shall I go? Placing my knife in my pocket, I leave my room as quietly as I can. It's probably because of all the recent murders, but it's only 10 o'clock and there's no one in the park. The empty night hangs overhead. There, a white figure stands. Shiki. As soon as she sees me, Arcuid angrily yells at me. Hey, what time do you think it is? You're 20 minutes late. It seems she came here right on time. Yeah, sorry. I left before 10 o'clock, but it took some time trying to leave the mansion without Akiya noticing. I'll definitely be on time the next time, so please forgive me. Jeez, you don't seem to realize we are going to go killing. Arcuid practically pouts. Don't tell me she was waiting long before the promised time. Arcuid, since what time were you waiting for me? Me? I came here as soon as I woke up, so... Arcuid thinks this over. Probably since 7 o'clock. 7? You were waiting for more than 3 hours? What in the world was she thinking coming 3 hours early? It seems I'm strange. As if truly amazed, Arcuid mumbles to herself. Well, I'm partly to blame because I was late, but don't you have some issues too? If you come before the agreed time, then of course you have to wait. Hey, that's something entirely different. The fact you were late doesn't change. Well, that is true. But why did you wait 3 hours? If you had that much time, couldn't you have just gone back to your room? I don't know why either. It somehow was fun, and while I was thinking it was nice waiting for you, it was already 10 o'clock. Wow, she was absorbed for that long. Fun? Why? Who knows? Didn't I say I didn't understand it myself? Maybe because you killed me. At that time, something broke that couldn't be healed. I think it's strange myself, but I can't understand what's broken inside me. Having her say that is very troubling. Having sliced her into 17 pieces, if she says there's something wrong, all I can do is to apologize. It's okay. We don't have much time, so we can't waste time talking about
Excuse me. So we can't waste time talking about pointless things, Shiki.
Yeah, saying that really helps me out.
But if you're late ever again, I'll just have to go to your house and pick you up. You're the one who couldn't keep the promise, so you have no complaints, right?
No way. I'll keep it, but random unfortunate circumstances like today could happen at any time. If I'm late, that'd be the last thing you should do. Look, don't come to my house even if it's a mistake. What's more, Akiya doesn't know about all this, so please don't make things more complicated than they are.
Akiya? Your sister that doesn't look at all like you?
Said a little too much, but yes. Wow. I can't believe she said that.
I see. You got scared of your little sister?
Shut up. I just don't want to worry her. At the very best, I'm a bother to her, so I don't want to tire her out even further.
You really are sweet to your sister, Shiki.
I'm basically nice to everyone. Well, recently there's been an exception to that.
That's me.
Dude, she's so fucking cute. You're always dense. That was an insult, not a compliment.
Not at all. To you, I'm an exception, right? How could I not like that?
She smiles again. She's special.
A child's smile, bright and carefree.
If I keep seeing that, I'll lose all my venom. Tired all of a sudden. Let's start looking for the vampire, Arcuid.
Yes, it's about time. And we'll start walking around town. Shiki, I want you to take off your glasses, but is that alright?
Take off my glasses? Why?
It's hard to notice them with just me. I can sense the presence of humans and non-humans, but that won't help me find the vampire. All I can sense is the presence, but with your eyes, you can quickly tell between living and dead things. So it's a waste if we don't use what we have, right?
Certainly I can understand what she's saying. But taking off my glasses means... I know.
Even I could feel your eyes getting stronger these past few days. If you keep doing this, it may not be good for your health. I'm still saying, but despite that. But the choice lies up to you, so I'm not going to force you. If you think it's alright to do so, take your glasses off and follow me.
Take off my glasses and walk around town. I haven't done that since I received these glasses 8 years ago. In the first place, the things I see without my glasses give me such a headache. It'd be easy to imagine what would happen if I walked around town. But still, just like Arcuid who keeps going even though her wound hasn't healed, Tonoshiki should do the same and pay back his debt. Arcuid, I'm fine, isn't it just a headache? Compared to the pain her body must be feeling, this is nothing. It's fine, I can take off my glasses. It's a small price to pay to make our search easier.
I see. Then let's go, Shiki.
Arcuid turns around and starts walking. Take off my glasses as I follow her. I follow Arcuid. I haven't walked in scenery so riddled with lines since my hospitalization back then. Strangely enough, I don't get a headache. It seems just seeing them won't cause it. It's not the thin lines in the buildings, but seeing the lines on the people walking by makes me sick. Before I thought they were just lines that were easy to cut along, but now I know they are the death of things. That's why I feel disgust first. It's not that those figures of people are scribbled over with lines are disgusting. Just seeing that humans are in existence so close to death makes me feel like throwing up. We walk the nighttime streets. Arcuid doesn't say anything, she just continues to stride forth resolutely. We walk for hours in the midst of town. In the end, we don't see one aberration, not one person wrapped in death.
Shiki, you can put your glasses back on. It seems like no matter how much we search tonight, it will be useless.
Arcuid concludes with a sigh. Put my glasses back on. The tone shift in this song. My vision returns back to normal and I relax. Useless. Is it okay to just decide that all of a sudden? We've only looked everywhere once, right?
No, just once is enough. The presence of the dead tends to linger around a place. I haven't sensed any of them around at all, so there aren't any that are active. The enemy is alert now that most of his dead are defeated. Seriously, he really is a coward. I was so prepared to finish it all tonight, but it appears he still wants to play hide and seek.
Oh boy. Arcuid bites her lip, dissatisfied. You look like you're in a bad mood, Arcuid.
Of course I am. You went through such trouble to help me, but it's all meaningless now.
Well, I don't really mind. If you're that dissatisfied, I don't mind going out to look again.
Maybe if I concentrate more, we can find something. That's no good. I can't strain you anymore. Strain? I'm not really straining. You are. You might not realize it, but if you abuse your brain anymore, you might end up disabled. Disabled? Who? You. That's right, you don't exactly know how your eyes work. Okay? You said yourself it was easier to see the death of living things than non-living things, right? Basically, it's a problem of the circuitry of your brain. The death of things. Being able to see that cause and effect, it's closer to reading than seeing. Everything has a main reason, the one source. It's the same thing that a German scientist called the Akashic Record. There you go. In other words, in the core of all phenomenon, there is something that records all things, the roots. It's less of a record than an existence, so it isn't information. It just exists. It doesn't have any purpose in and of itself or any direction. It's like a root swirl from which flows out all reasons. There you go. Things in this world flowed from that, derived from that, and preserved their current form. You and I, vampires and humans, we all originated from that. Things became more complex and separate and cannot return to that original source, the beginning. But you understand that there exists the one, right? But no matter how different a form something takes from the great source, it is still a derivative. So even if it is only a slender line, there is a thread connecting to the source. The source of all things, the record that records the beginning and the end of all things. Being connected to that means knowing the end of all things. Originally, the brain has the ability to control reception and transmission, but most humans close off all of these circuits except for themselves. But there are those people who have their circuits open latently. Without a single use of magic circuits, there are humans who, despite not being of transcendental race, have the potential to create transcendent phenomena. Magi classify them as being psychics. While still human, they are mutants who are born with magic circuits. Such as, without any learning of the occult, someone who can see the death of things. And someone like Fujino Asagami. I'm sorry, Arcuid. It appears I can't understand this kind of conversation at all. It's okay if you can't understand. But what I want to tell you is you shouldn't try to see things that are hard to see. Probably if you want to, you can see the death of non-living things. But in order to do that, your brain has to open its circuits from the classification of living things to the classification of non-living things in order to understand. It is normally an impossible process. As a result, it overloads your brain and you end up being useless. Useless? You mean these eyes won't be able to perceive death anymore? Of course not. Hey Shiki, what happens to an engine that blows up from overload? It goes to the junkyard. Once an engine breaks, you can't use it again. Oh, that's it. In other words, the headache I get from seeing death is like the screaming of an engine that is working too fast. You understand? If you can just see it, it won't be a problem. But stop trying to see things you can't perceive. The blood vessels in your brain will burst and it'll all be over. Speechless. I've been living like this without realizing the seriousness of it all. You really have to thank the mattress who gave you those glasses. Most psychics use their abilities without realizing how dangerous they are and end up disabling themselves. So those kinds of people are often incompatible with society, so maybe that's just for the best. Damn. It seems like that's the reason I'm here. Let you go back to living the life you had before. Sensei said that and gave me these glasses. I have so much to thank her for, my chest tightens. That person, in so many ways, really did save me. So crazy that one talk and that one thing she did for Shiki just led to all of this. Like otherwise he would have just I don't want to imagine what would have happened. I like how Aoko influenced that and also has her own story that I hope I'll be able to experience one day. Yep. Huh? I feel a sharp sensation. Not pain, but something strange, like an itch. Shiki? What is this? It was really only just for an instant, but it was like something was in my chest. Not understanding, I placed my hand inside my shirt. Wetness. Something. Something is sticking to my chest like ink. What is this? Something's wet? I pull out my hand from my shirt. On my open palms is bright red blood. Eh? Sting. Another strange sensation. It takes me a horribly long time to understand that it's coming from the old scar on my chest. I remember when that wound opened. In Ciel route, and now... Shiki, that... Yeah, that's weird. It doesn't hurt and it's not even an open wound, but there's blood all over my chest. It's so red. A beautiful, unmuddied red that steals my eyesight. Well, it doesn't hurt, so it's gotta be okay. It seems to have stopped bleeding, so there's no need to... Arcuite stares dumbfounded at my hand. No, more accurately, she stares at the red blood coating my hand. Arcuite? Arcuite doesn't respond. She just starts to breathe heavier. Pants, as if she is trying to withstand pain. Hey, Arcuite! Wait, what? What's wrong? Does your wound hurt? I grab her shoulders, and then she jumps back as if she was trying to escape. Oh no. She stares at me like I am an enemy. Arcuite? Shiki? Short, clipped. Her voice even contains enmity. I never thought about it. She averts her gaze awkwardly. What's wrong? You're acting strange. Still haven't recovered yet? Perhaps. It seems I pushed myself too hard. So I'll go back now. Yeah. I guess we'll call it a night. Yeah. I'll be waiting here tomorrow. Arcuite just realized something. Now looking me in the eye, Arcuite leaves quickly. Okay, holy shit. Wait. So I get the wound. I get the wound being connected like to what happened back then, because that happened as a result of what happened when Shiki was a kid, and with other Shiki, and the life force connection there with Roa. And I know obviously Arcuite's connection with Roa, and that he technically like stole her power, and that she wants to recover it. So there's that connection there. So did Arcuite realize that Shiki shares that in that moment, and like as if and then she said it like, damn, why didn't I consider it before, Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit longer. I go up the residential hill and arrive at the outskirts of the mansion. It's around 2 in the morning. As expected, I'm totally assailed by sleepiness. Wonder if she's going to be okay. I'm concerned about how she seemed when we parted. It seemed like it wasn't pain from her wound, but... What is that? It feels like there's someone lurking in the shadows not illuminated by the streetlights. Thump. My heart stops my breath. My blood rushes through my body with this sensation. Certainly there's someone standing there. The figure gets closer and closer. Footsteps. The sound of dry footsteps reaches my ears. Thump. I have a bad feeling about this. Chills race up my spine. The figure draws near. Suddenly, the streetlights shatter loudly. The moon is hidden by the clouds. The whole world instantly turns to darkness. Thump. My heartbeat skips as if warning me of death. I jump back for no apparent reason. I was gonna end there, but I knew some shit was about to happen. Every time it doesn't immediately transition to the mansion gate, I'm like, oh no. A blade runs through the darkness. Not being able to get away fully, my glasses are grazed by it. They fall to the ground with a clatter. Who? The instant I start to say, are you? The clouds part for a brief moment and the dark figure is illuminated. Oh, shit. Up from your coffin, I see. Well, a man wrapped entirely in bandages is gripping a knife. The bandaged man goes to attack me again. I quickly ready my knife and stop it. 2 slivers of light shoot towards each other. I can't think calmly. The fact that I'm being attacked causes my mind to panic. Clang, clang. Sparks fly from our clashing knives and scatter into the darkness. This is kind of cool. I still can't calm down. It's not because I'm being attacked. Clang. I swing my knife to cancel out the one attacking me from every angle. Why? What's surprising is that my body is completely stopping all the attacks in this darkness without a pause. My body is moving by itself? No, that's not it. All my arms are doing is sticking out the lines and points that I can see in the darkness with my glasses off. That's all I can see, so I swing my knife through the air after those lines. As a result, the bandaged man's knife is simply stopping mine. And Shiki could technically just cut through the knife, right? Like, bye-bye knife existence, and then that's done with. In other words, it's not that I'm defending myself, but he's defending himself from me. Ah, there you go. I can win. I don't know who he is, but there's no doubt. I'm overwhelming him. My blood rages forth from my advantage. I'll win. I'm stronger than him. Because I'm stronger. Because he's trying to kill me. Aren't I just returning the favor? Clang. Clang. The sound of ringing metal echoes in the air, and I force him back towards the mansion wall. There. My eyes fixate on a line on his chest, and I thrust my knife forward. Oh my god. Momentarily, for some reason, I see a boy painted in blood and Akia's crying face. Oh my god. I pull my knife back before completion. What am I? I'm trying to kill someone. Why? My head hurts. My legs wobble and I stagger backwards. As I do so, I empty the contents of my stomach. My chest starts to itch. My head hurts. The old wound on my chest burns. My eyes feel like they're going to burst out of their sockets. I can't stop throwing up. The vomit splatters all over the asphalt. And there, the bandaged man comes after me with his knife. Clang. Another collision. My knife shoots towards his. This time, I really defend myself. I know where he's aiming. Since I know, I block him once again with another clang. Is he aiming for his old wound? Clang. 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 I guess the wound itself is like the physical connection, right? Like that wound on Shiki's chest. Like they share the life force, but that is like the physical spot where it lies, I suppose. I somehow managed to block it over and over, which I'm pretty sure they said before, and that I already said before. I don't know. It's hard to say what I'm being redundant about. This is obviously new, but as far as revisiting old information, you know, the reason I can defend myself is simple, but sometimes it's good to be reminded about shit. Because where he's aiming are the lines on my body. Oh, so I know where he is aiming at, and I understand more than anyone that having them cut would mean instant death, so I have to defend it. Well, screw what I just said. No, wait. Aiming for my lines. Ah, it's the exact opposite of before. That means don't tell me he... The bandaged man smiles in the darkness. Thump. My heart rate goes out of control. Feeling some unnameable fear, I stumble backwards. I don't think I realized that before. That he can see the lines too. Holy shit. He just smiles. His bloodshot eyes seem to be saying, so you finally realized it, as he sneers at me. You can see them? Yes, he also can see the lines. Then he can also kill with one blow. The man laughs. He draws near while laughing. I even down to my fingers gripping my knife tremble uncontrollably. Slice, slice, slice. The sound of flesh being pierced by a blade resounds 3 times. And then a thud, a sound of a body hitting the wall. I can't grasp the situation. The bandaged man was suddenly pierced by 3 spear-like pipes. Not just pierced, but stuck onto the wall, like an insect pinned in a bug collection. What the fuck? His voice grates awfully. At the same time, the 3 spears alight like candles and engulf him in flames. Yo. Ah! An anguished voice in the whirlpool of flames. The darkness that scene seems less cruel and almost beautiful. Ah! The bandaged man, no, the bandages are burned already. His skin is showing. Wrapped in the flames, the man stares at me. His bloodshot eyes filled only with murder. His black eyes like a weapon on cursing Tonoshiki. I'm gonna mine you, curse you. What? Stunned, I can only watch. He runs off into the distance, still engulfed in flames. That's kind of funny. The moon reemerges. Indeed it does. After those flames and that cursing voice, everything returns to silence like it was before. I fall to my knees. Wait, did they, what the fuck? So 3 spears alight. So 3 spears on fire. They pin him to the wall. And he's saying, "You're in my way." Wait, who attacked him? I fall to my knees and lean against the wall. I look up at the sky. In the direction where those spears flew from, someone is standing high and far off. Here we go. Oh, shit. Right. Spears. Okay. And I know the black keys would be effective against vampires, so that's why they burned him. Holy shit, dude. Oh, man. Far away, standing composed on top of the streetlight, I see a familiar figure. Eh? Robes like a priest from another country. Clenched in her hand, large nail-like swords. Emotionless, pale eyes. Blue, sky blue eyes. Senpai? Under the moonlight, I can only make out the silhouette. But she seems to resemble Senpai. Our eyes meet. The standing figure on top of the streetlight suddenly disappears like a ghost. I sit down roughly. Is it relief from my headache fading or just the lifting of all this tension? Leaning my back against the wall, I start to drift off to sleep. Yikes, he just straight up had to pass out there. Alright. 8 death. And there's not even a proper image for this. Wow. Okay. Well, we know exactly where we're starting next time. I'm glad that I'm ending at this point. This is a good place to stop. Oh man, that was awesome. I love that we're really getting to the nitty-gritty of the route now. Like, the reason, obviously I didn't skip any scenes, because, you know, just to get more time with Arc. But, you know, revisiting information is good as well, so that was good. And now that we're at this point, and even Ciel saving Shiki there, oh man, that's so cool, dude. More of the conversations with Arc, her realizing something, you know, when the... Because it's like the blood was there. The blood appeared on Shiki, but the wound didn't actually reopen, they said. Like, he checked it, and he's like, well, the wound's fine. Like, it's just blood. It doesn't seem to be bleeding, so I guess I'm fine. Then Arc realized. But again, it could have been like Roa's, but I don't fucking know. Maybe Roa was being hurt. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now, man. There's still questions, but I like what's going on. This is a good time. I don't know what's about to happen here, especially now that, you know, Shiki's passed out here. He's had an encounter with Roa. He doesn't know that's Roa, of course. But maybe if he brings it up to Arc, she'll realize. But of course, Arc realizing what she did now might not be much of a surprise to her, considering her reaction and what I already know from the Ciel route. So that's less of a mystery. But there are certain things, man. There's certain things still wonder about, man. But I'm ready. I'm ready for what's to come in this route and all the routes to come. I'm happy to really be getting into the shit in the Arc route now, man. So thank you so much for watching my playthrough, and I'll see you next time. Peace.